these things are going to kill us all. We must stop it by any means possible, even if that means redefining things as not human or not sentient when they maybe are. You can replicate famous people. The law is powerless. It's a what is this, Politico, so it's going to be a little bit clickbaity. I don't think the law is powerless or the law necessarily has anything to do with this, but it's very much along the same lines of, the whole uproar that artists are in, that an AI is able to ape, any type of artist style before,
What was that strike about then? If they haven't fixed it, what was that strike about?
Oh, well, that was...
Well, why did they make it so long for me to watch Reacher? I just want to know. I mean, look.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, now
we learn a lot about our co-hosts. Sometimes before the show, sometimes during.
Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Side note, I have read most of his books. I like Lee Child. And when they made Tom Cruise Jack Reacher,
really
and that
mad.
I was not happy. I was like, Jack Reacher's a 6'5" monster, and you've got this guy. We all know how big he is.
There was a viral social media post this week, was like just kind of lampooning Reacher. He's like, "Oh no, what's going to happen with Jack Reacher this week? Will these 4 5-foot bikers be able to overpower this man who's a beast of a mountain of a person?" Anyway,
Did you see the actor who did that came up and said he was bullied in high school? And just recently, that same bully came up and asked for a signature.
What did he do? Okay, here you go.
You don't remember?
That's great.
Anyway, I think this goes to like an offline conversation you and I had, because you and I have been talking about whether or not
Meat space.
whether AI can be considered sentient or human or have a soul or any of these things that we're kind of anthropomorphizing.
Wasn't that Ex Machina?
So because the question becomes, and this is why I think it's very important to see how Sam Altman has positioned what ChatGPT is doing. He, in congressional hearings and public statements, has says the goal of the company is to create AGI, is to create a sentient, self-directing machine. And if that is a thing that exists in the world, you cannot get upset when that thing impersonates another. Do you get upset when a comedian impersonates, Donald Trump on stage? Do you get upset?
Every Christopher Walken joke ever.
Do you get upset when an art student tries to mimic Van Gogh's style? No, you can't, because that is part of the humanistic way we learn, is we imitate others that are bigger and better than ourselves. On the other hand, if you take a effective altruist approach to this, it doesn't matter. And this is the other competing, AI safety ideology that's around this thing, is that it doesn't matter. These things are going to kill us all. We must stop it by any means possible, even if that means redefining things as not human or not sentient when they maybe are. So I don't know. It's the whole big ball of wax that's going on, and like just a very tangled topic that's going on this week and being discussed from a lot of angles. Have you guys read any of this discourse this week?
I've heard about it, read some of it, and all I can say is that I just hope this happens in like 40 years, because I just need to live out the rest of mine. Whatever happens, happens.
I got bad news for you. It's going to happen like next week, I think.
I know, that's what I'm worried about. What happened to all my retirement planning? It goes to 0. Sentient. I'll just take that.
I haven't seen deep into the really, really good stuff that's occurring, obviously, and what I'm seeing is it is amazing to watch. But then you pop into Dolly and it gives an eye thing like that. I'm not seeing what other people are seeing, and for me, the very definition of sentience, it's not good enough if it fakes it. The question is it a living, thinking being? I don't see how it's going to go that way. I think that we're a lot further away than they're saying. I think we're going to be fooled by it. I think people are going to make terrible decisions the same way boomers always did, which is, I don't have to worry about this. I'll have this cheeseburger because medical science will fix me by the time I get old. I think that's exactly what AGI is going to run into. I think it's obviously going to get better. I don't think it's going to get better fast enough to fix the problems we have in front of us.
Well, what do you mean by that? We'll fix the problem we have, like fix the world or whatever.
Energy, population,
I mean,
crashing birth rates.
I'm not even talking about that.
Drones. There's lots of stuff that's all.
I'm not even talking about fixing the big problems. I'm talking about maybe that's a second or third order discussion. The question is whether or not we can even consider it human at this point, because that affects dramatically how it can be regulated. It's already dicey when you start regulating software in the first place, right? Code is speech, right? But when code becomes a life,
more than speech, yeah.
Now we're in true, Star Trek. Like it's like 1,000 episodes
I'm in
of
my
Star Trek
car
about this.
driving down 75 and I've got a laptop that's jacked into the grid and it's got an AI inside of it, does that mean I can do the HOV? If someone runs into me and they're drunk and I die and the AI loses its power source and dies, is that 2 murders? Is that where you're prepared to go?
I
know. Why am I running around with an AI? I'm a cool guy. I know lots of stuff other people don't know.
Well, there you go.
But that would have to be too. If it's a person, then murder's definitely unplugging something becomes accidental, not manslaughter, person slaughter, or entity slaughter, or whatever we're going to call it.
Well, look,
We're going to give it rights.
From what I understand, that everyone knows about these aliens, and it's really, really deep secrets in the U.S. government. That'll do the same thing. They'll find the AI, and then they won't just tell us about it. They'll just keep, running things as is. We won't know.
Why is it the aliens always seem so dumb too? Like the AIs are always smart and like figuring stuff and launching nuclear missiles and shutting the lights off for you at the wrong time, but the aliens are just crashing into stuff randomly and they don't have. Like, I know not to step into a pool, like the ocean, without putting a swimsuit on. These guys don't know how to come to a planet and it doesn't make any sense.
Right. Yeah. Well, maybe we're just in the wrong end of the galaxy on the wrong side of the tracks. That's why they keep crashing.
We're the bad aliens.
Yeah.
So, Hill, can you get me a tinfoil hat, please?
They don't even have that. It's got to be aluminum, but they don't make the aluminum. Where are you going to get the tin? They don't make tin foil anymore.
Back to the point on the effective altruism versus the effective accelerationism. I think that there's 2 things happening, right? So one, there is the fact that we have software that is better than humans at most things that it's doing now. It's got better judgment. It can drive a car with a less kill rate than even as bad as it is, right? Mm-hmm. Like there's the state of California is really upset with these self-driving car companies, I think Waymo or something like that.
Right, yep.
They killed 2 people. How many people did humans kill with their cars in California?
Same day.
Yeah.
That same day.
Yeah.
Did you know it's illegal to hunt poodles in New York with the Buick?
Yes. I was aware of that when you finished the sentence. But no.
It's a very old joke.
The my point here being that the fact that AI and this software, if we just call it software instead of getting sci-fi with it, the software is better than humans at a lot of things, is going to be used. You've got 2 things happening. One thing that's always been happening, which is the Hollywoodification of cognitive software, right? If you put LLMs in that same category of cognitive software, and then which lends itself to this very polemic discussion. And then the other thing that's happening is, so you've got these cults on both sides that are leaning into the Hollywoodification of cognitive software, people that think it's going to solve all the world's problems, people that think it's going to end the world.
Right.
And now you've got business interests taking advantage of that cult. And that was what this Politico article was about the effective accelerationism guys. I have been watching the commissioned reports that are coming out of like Forrester, Wikibon, Constellation, maybe not Constellation, Gartner, that were dealing with AI safety. And I know who pays these guys, and I know who commissions these reports. You've got IBM and Oracle and large enterprise players that are frankly falling behind ChatGPT and frankly open source movements, people that are just playing around.
Stock has been hammered.
Yeah, and they're paying to have all this propaganda come out there that says, this is going to kill us all because we all watch Terminator.
Look, but this is still the we're, gosh, probably like every day is just a new day anyway, but like so early into this like AI thing. Just to remember, again, I keep talking back about the farming and agricultural. It's like everybody had to do something to do with food production years ago, right? And now 2% of the global population feeds all of us, right? And if you were to say that we're going to regulate who is allowed to have a motorized engine, what would that have done to us as far as progression?
Mass starvation.
Right. And now we've got this new tool, because let's be honest, that's what it is. It's a tool. Software has always been a tool, the free speech that actually enables not just like progress, but specific quantifiable work, as opposed to us individuals who may have forgotten to call that person back, right? You make a process, it's going to be more precise. Well, yeah, precise, maybe not accurate, but it's going to be more precise in its functions. It does what it's supposed to do, and it helps us to do that. AI as a entity, man, I'm not qualified to talk about that. I don't think any of us here are, right?
I feel like I'm qualified to talk about it.
Okay.
I'm an entity.
I still think that it's really just technology that's going to help us get a lot better. And if it turns into something that's more than that, I put that on the same scale of people asking me, it's like, what happens if, the United States, what if blah, 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 should I buy gold? Well, you're going to have bigger problems. You're going to have bigger problems. If you have to carry around a backpack full of gold.
Asteroid is coming our way and it's going to wipe out all of human. Like, what should it be up to that point? Should I go into short terms?
I think you should make really good friends with Elon Musk, who might have a starship that we can go off on somewhere.
That's the same question that people ask me, like, well, if quantum computing defeats encryption, what happens to Bitcoin? I'm like,
everything else
what
you
happens
have is
to everything?
Broken.
Yeah, everything. Your bank password is also gone way before that. So I don't know,
your car, your ring phone,
everything.
Everything's kind of gone from there.
Yeah. Hey, thanks for watching The Merge. We've got a ton more stuff for you to watch on YouTube, on Instagram, on TikTok, everywhere. Check us out.